Ana Castela will receive $850,000 through an amendment from the PL after flashing the 22 hand sign. She appeared in this photo here with Nikolas, right? Ana Castela, who is an important figure in the Brazilian country music scene, this photo was taken at the Barretos Rodeo, which is a stronghold of Bolsonaro supporters, right? The Barretos Rodeo is completely a Bolsonaro stronghold, right? Just fights, confusion, physical aggression, filth, drunk people. It's the party. I personally know the Barretos Festival, guys. I've already covered it as a journalist. The absurd things I've seen there are unbelievable. One day I'll tell you all about the absurd things I've seen at the Rodeo Festival. I'll just mention one. I've seen them shocking the bull to make it jump more. I saw it like just a meter away from me, shocking the bull to make it jump more, okay? That's just one of the things I witnessed at the Barretos Rodeo Festival when I went there to work as a journalist. And then anyway, this Bolsonarist crowd, she showed up there with Nikolas, took pictures, joked around and all that. So what is this column here from Metropolis saying, the Metro Vecchiolis column? That she's going to perform in São Fidelix, which is in the north of Rio de Janeiro, up there in the Campos dos Goitacás region, further north, already close to Espírito Santo. And she's going to earn 850,000 reais for this show. Do you know for how many people? The City Hall is estimating 4,000 people. 4,000. It's a show that would never pay for itself with 4,000 people. It would never pay for itself with 4,000 people, right? But since it's money from the Ministry of Tourism, money for shows, money from a legislative earmark by a congresswoman from the PL, for the PL-run city government to hire a Bolsonaro supporter from the PL in the Sertanejo world. So that's what they do. They use public money to help each other out and that way guarantee the support of this group of Sertanejo artists for Bolsonarism. This class, which is often, I'm not saying this specific one, but which is often just as corrupt as the PL politicians. Many times, okay? There are a lot of Sertanejo artists out there who are involved in accusations under investigation for receiving money from amendments. Ana Castela, specifically, this young woman who appears here, there are reports that she received more than 80 million reais in shows booked through legislative earmarks. That's in a year and a half, 2024, 2025. From mid-2024 until the end of 2025. More than 80 million reais. Just for her. And she's not even one of the leaders, okay? There are people who received much more money than Ana Castela. Anyway, and what is this money for? Booking shows in this scheme. They book the show. There's no bidding, no competition. Why? Because there's only one Ana Castela. Are they going to put it up for bidding? How? Right? Anyway, so they don't do the bidding. They hire using federal government money to promote the Bolsonaro supporters. And they hire with public money. This is absurd. It's one of the biggest absurdities that happens in Brazilian Sertanejo culture, right? That's exactly what happens. That's exactly how Ana Castela and others, not just her, other Sertanejo artists act when doing shows out there. Why read the Rouanet law? If they get it, if the money goes straight into their account, they don't need to be accountable, right? Anyway, and look, there's this one too. Who are you going to vote for? Reports of electoral harassment at work have reached 119 and are 16.4% higher than in previous elections. This is a serious matter, you know? Very serious. It's like this. It's the boss trying to force the employee to vote for his candidate. That's what it is. The boss pressuring the employee, if you don't vote for my candidate, I'll close the company. I'll fire I don't know how many people. I'll go bankrupt. He threatens the workers into voting for the candidate he wants. And look, 99.99% of the cases of electoral harassment involve Bolsonaro supporters. 99% of the cases are related to Bolsonaro supporting candidates and Bolsonaro supporting bosses. And the name for this is electoral harassment. It's been provided for in electoral law since 2018. This started back in 2018. It started back then. Before that, you practically didn't have this. So you see how Bolsonarism is harmful, right? How it destroys democracy. They created this whole business of bosses pressuring employees into voting. If the employee reports the boss, Even if he reports it anonymously to the Electoral Prosecutor's Office, that boss will be prosecuted. He will be fined. He will be punished by the Public Prosecutor's Office, right? And he'll probably still face a lawsuit for electoral harassment, which will create a lot of problems for this guy. So if you work somewhere where your boss does this kind of thing, report it. Even if it's anonymous, report it. Don't just let it slide, because that's unacceptable and reprehensible behavior, trying to force workers to vote for your candidate and using the employer's economic power for that, right? That's really messed up and it needs to be fought against. That's called electoral harassment. It's forbidden and it leads to punishment, serious punishment. Punishment, especially financial punishment, heavy fines. Verdavan has already been punished for electoral harassment. He's already been convicted for electoral harassment. And other people, what about other big companies that we know from every election since 2018, right? But before, there wasn't. But from 2018 onwards, every election, we hear about it. For mayor, for president, we hear about it. So there was an election in 2018, and there was electoral harassment for the first time. Then after that came 2020, 2022, 2024. There has always been electoral harassment, always Bolsonaro supporting bosses, trying to force employees to vote for Bolsonaro supporting candidates. And that definitely can't happen. Anyway, Trump's disapproval reaches 65%, the highest number of his administration according to a poll. Support for the war in Iran has also never been so low. But even from Joe Biden, okay? A Reuters Ipsos poll. Reuters is a very important American news agency, and Ipsos is also a very important and credible institute in the United States. So here's the thing. Let's take a look here. He has a 65% disapproval rating, a new record. The previous number was 64%. And his approval rating, which was 34%, is now 33%. Only a third of Americans approve of the Trump administration. The rest are distancing themselves from Trump, and there will be an election now in November. November to elect all the members of Congress and also part of the Senate. It's not the entire Senate. The expectation is that the Democrats will take control of the House again. They'll win back the majority they lost when Trump was elected. But he's doing so badly that the average American, the US citizen, is going to take power away from Donald Trump. Because when he gives Congress to the opposition, it means that many measures Trump wants to implement won't go through because Congress won't allow it. It's a way to put a brake on him. This decision to hold midterm elections has a very interesting aspect. I like it. Why? If the president is doing well, you give him more power to keep doing well. You elect an even larger group of his supporters. But if he's doing badly, you take power away from him, so he doesn't keep ruining your country, right? So halfway through, it's a kind of evaluation of the term. And Donald Trump is doing everything he can. He's trying to interfere in every possible way in the midterm election, because he knows he's going to lose. There's the orange guy. He knows he's going to lose. He's going to be out, right? So he keeps trying to interfere. He says he's going to declare a national emergency. He's going to issue decrees to make mail-in voting and immigrant voting harder. Immigrants, of course, will have the right to vote. That's important, because not every immigrant has the right to vote in the United States, right? The person already has to have a green card, already has to have authorization to live there in order to vote. It's not just anyone who immigrates there, for example. Eduardo Bolsonaro just got his green card now. And even so, he won't be able to vote for president there. Not even for congressman, right? He won't be able to. Only in some situations. And the person has to become a naturalized citizen. It's very specific. Now, these immigrants must also have a hard time voting because of the difficulties that Trump wants to impose so he doesn't lose the elections. But he doesn't know it. But his situation is getting more and more hopeless.